What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we are going through our Season 4 preseason shenanigans with Murray State. I always enjoy the preseason stuff because it gets me excited about all the new things, all the new players that are going to play, the new schedule, possibly the new scheme, just kind of depends on what the talent lies. And it just gets me mentally prepared for what's to come. So it's a whole lot of fun, so let's get right into it. We can start off with custom schedules. Now, I went ahead and created the schedule. That way I didn't bore you for 15 minutes me trying to figure out who I wanted to play. Just to set things up, I wanted to replace Eastern and Western Kentucky with Kentucky and Louisville. So I also decided to bookend the season like I have in the past with Kentucky and Louisville this time. So out of the gate, we're going to Kentucky. And then our next game, we're going to take on Missouri. Now, in this game, they are a Big 12 school. I wanted to add at least one school from the Big 12. I wanted to keep it pretty varied in terms of the different conferences represented. And then week 4, our third game of the season is at Ohio State. I had a request from somebody to add them. They wanted me technically to do a home and home. We may think about that going into the next season. But we have them here. We are heading to Columbus. After that, we're going to take on a Big East team this time. Last year, we took on Cincinnati. Today, or this go-around, we're going to take on UConn. Got an open date. And then week 7, we are going to take on Notre Dame. We're going to have them come here this time. If you remember in Season 1, we had a crazy game with them. We beat them. That was our first big upset of the Dynasty. So I figure we would continue that storyline and have them come and visit us. Then after that, we're going right back on the road against another ranked team against Oregon State. This is a Pac-10 school that I wanted to add to the schedule, and this is the only one that I could find that was ranked that I could fit on the schedule. Next up, Buffalo at home. I'm hoping that this will be a good recruit visit day, along with Week 10, Arkansas State. That's what these are for, is for recruiting purposes. Then we got at North Carolina. In this spot, I didn't have much choice. I could either done Air Force, North Carolina, Wake Forest, or Western Kentucky. We're never not going to do Western Kentucky. I didn't really feel like doing Air Force. I figured doing an ACC school would be a decent idea, and we haven't played either, so I figured let's go and take on North Carolina. But right after that is I wanted to add another ranked game because you got to remember we're a 3-star program. We can schedule 4 ranked games, and I wanted a ranked game right in this slot. And the good one that I could find that kind of made sense was Virginia Tech. We haven't played them any in the Dynasty, so we're going to head over to the Atlantic Coast Conference back-to-back weeks. Then we got Tulane at home. That is for recruiting purposes, just in case, we got a couple guys left by then that's still ready to take a visit. They can come for that day. Got an open day after that, and then we're going to end the season with Louisville at home. So we have our 4 ranked teams: Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon State, and Virginia Tech. And we've bookended the schedule with Kentucky and Louisville. And we've mixed in a Big 12 school, a Big East school, one out of the MAC, one out of the Sun Belt. I wanted to keep it as varied as possible. Then you got Tulane. So I like that schedule. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's a bunch of new teams we haven't played before outside of, Louisville, Kentucky, and then continue the storyline with Notre Dame. I'm sure they're waiting to get revenge on us. All right, let's go to redshirt players. Now, I haven't pretty much decided what I'm going to do schematic-wise offensively. I have an idea of what I'm going to do. I've had some good ideas from others on maybe doing some I option just because Simmons can run the ball a little bit. That may be a possibility. I just can't really decide yet. But as we redshirt some players, maybe that'll become more clear. So let's get right into it. With quarterback, Sam Simmons, a true freshman, is going to be our starter. He's just too fast, and his arm is better than Hamilton's for him not to start. A little bit less on the throw power, but his accuracy is a little bit better. Which means Hamilton, the other true freshman, we can redshirt him. We won't need him to play any this year. Hopefully Simmons can stay healthy. If he doesn't, then maybe we can burn Hamilton's red shirt and go from there. Halfback, we have a lot on the roster. I won't have to recruit any more of these guys for quite a while. Bradley Gladhar is going to be our starter, but he's going to split some reps with Davidson. I don't want the same situation we had last year with Drummer. Drummer done a good job of it, but he played like every single snap, and he got gassed a lot. And I'm guessing Gladhart will probably have the same issue because if you remember, Drummer had like a 91 stamina, and he was still gassed all the time. Well, Gladhart is only at an 88, so I don't expect him to do even any better. So that means true freshman Sergio Davidson is going to split reps with him. Make it a little bit easier on both. That way they don't have to carry the entire load. Because of that, we got a couple of other freshmen that we can redshirt. Adam Lamb, for example. Griffin, I'm not going to redshirt him. He's a junior. He could be a good third-string guy. Ivan Williams, the speedster. I've never had a halfback at 99 speed before. Looking forward to using him down the road. We won't need to this year, though. But we can redshirt him. And we got other backups that'll probably never see the field. So there you go. Gladhart, Davidson, and Griffin will be our main guys at halfback, especially the top two. Fullback, we're not going to do anything different here. Andrew Myers is going to be a starter. We're not going to redshirt him. Wide receiver, I haven't decided how many 4 wide sets I'm going to use. I probably at least have 1 in the playbook, maybe 2. So at most, we need to have 5 on here ready to go if needed. Which means I want to redshirt one of the 2 incomers, new guys. Cam Johnson, he's the JUCO kid, 6'8", 204. Then you got Rashad Black. I would prefer to redshirt the freshman. He's just a little bit less than Johnson. And Johnson can play, he's our number 4 receiver. I actually want Anderson to be my number 3 guy. I think he's earned it. He's got better awareness, and their catch is the same. So Anderson can still be my number 3 guy. Of course, when it comes to doing like third and long stuff where we need somebody in the slot, I still may end up having Harris be our slot guy. But at least with Johnson being a 72 overall, we don't have to use any tight end sub packages in our 4 wide sets like we done last season, like we done with Green. So Green could play natural tight end. He don't have to go out wide as much because we got a tight end who could do the same thing, probably better. So we're only going to redshirt Black out of all those guys. Now, tight end, transfer Stephen Davis out of Purdue. Thankfully, he has not redshirted yet, and he can't play this year, so we can redshirt him. Which leaves Green and Olsen. Now, Green's obviously going to play, but Olsen is the other true freshman that he's the pure blocker. As you can tell, 6'6", 275. Look at his strength. Just a monster. He's practically an offensive lineman. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Normally, I would redshirt this guy, but since there's a very good chance we're going to be under centers at least some of the time, and we're going to do basic runs with Gladhart and Sergio, it actually would be better if I had a blocking tight end in a couple of those formations. I'm going to use formation subs depending on the formation and if I need a particular play where the tight end can go out and catch passes. That's what Green will do. But if I'm going to have a couple formations where the tight end is never going to touch the ball, that's where I could put in Olsen. So you're going to see both of these guys play. Tackle. We got 2 legit starters, Moore and true freshman Adrian Williams. He may have been our best pickup of the entire recruiting class, a 78 overall. So we got 2 backups, technically 3. We got a freshman and a sophomore. I would probably redshirt the freshman. That way we got 2 backups behind the 2 starters. At guard, we got Bailey's definitely a starter, and Brown is going to be our starting left guard. He's got better awareness. He's not as strong as Booker, nor is he as big, but he's still just a little bit better. So out of these 3 guys, I'm going to redshirt Booker. Thankfully, offensive linemen don't tire as easily. That way, as long as neither one of these guys get injured, you can have these kind of backups and it's not going to be a big deal. So that's what we're going to do. I can technically redshirt Causey too if I wanted to. Problem is, he's 62 overall. He's probably never going to see the field unless somebody gets seriously hurt. So I'm not going to bother. It's a very good chance I can move him to center because he could be my backup center for the next 3 to 4 years behind Culp, because Culp's going to be our starter as long as he's here, more than likely. And speaking of, here we are at center, and we don't have to redshirt anybody here. We got a senior behind the true freshman, and of course, Culp is going to start. Defensive end, we can redshirt one of these guys. We got 3 sophomores. Now, definitely Mitchell's a starter. Hardy and Reese, one of those 2 guys are going to be the starter. Now, starters is not super important at defensive end because defensive ends tire a lot in this game. So you're going to have a lot of defensive ends going in and out. So I'm going to redshirt one of these. I'll probably just redshirt Mills for now and have Reese and Huff back up these 2 guys. Or I may have Reese start over Hardy. Because if you look here, they got the same speed, but Reese has got a much better awareness. So Reese will probably end up being my starting right end with Hardy backing up him. And Huff can back up Mitchell or something. We'll get the depth chart here in a minute. Defensive tackle. We have transferred Kevin Jones. Thankfully, he's not redshirted yet, so we can redshirt him. And we'll have him for at least 1 year, if not 2. Which means Marsh is going to start, and defensive tackles, no different than defensive end. They tire very easily, so you're going to have quite a bit of a rotation. So Kennedy and Royal will be right in there with Marsh. And true freshman Todd Scott, I can go ahead and redshirt him. That's fine. I don't know if he'll ever see the field because that was a bit of a reach for us. I just saw his size or his height and weight and was hoping for the best. And it looks like it's not going to work out, but he's a body at least. Outside linebacker, Abdullah is definitely a starter. The other spot is going to be interesting. Crosby and Allen. Allen's been on the team for a couple of years. Crosby's the freshman. Allen's got better awareness, but as you can tell, overall, Crosby's a little bit better. He's a little bit faster. That's the big reason. What I may end up doing is starting Crosby, and Allen could be my backup to both of these guys because we got a true freshman, Marlon Phillips, that I think we can redshirt. So let's go ahead and do that. Yes, linebackers tire a little bit easier, but not as easy as the defensive ends. It's such. So Allen can go in for whichever one's going to sub in and out. And you also got to remember, I run a lot of nickel as well. So one of these outside linebackers is going to redshirt. It's definitely going to be sitting out in the nickel, and that's definitely going to be one of these guys because Abdullah's got to be on the field pretty much every play. Middle linebacker, we're not going to redshirt either one of these. Obviously, Potts is still our impact guy on defense. Walker, I'm not going to redshirt him because we like to do some 4-4 stuff. But as you can tell, this is going to be a big need for us in recruiting. And I've made a little list of the positions we need to look out for in the in-season portion of the video. So we're going to get to that here in a bit. Corner, we have some options here to redshirt. McBride is definitely a starter along with Campbell. But it gets really close. Here's true freshman Jared Simmons. He could technically start at the number 2 spot, but I don't mind having Campbell here because he's much smarter. Not as fast, but 92 is still fast. So, don't get me wrong. I wonder if the jump is a big deal. 88 and 89, so there's really no difference there. But Simmons could be my nickel. Again, I run a lot of nickel, and I'm going to try to do some zone blitzing type stuff with him. Having that 94 speed coming off the edge like that could be a real asset for us. So we have another freshman here, Paul Murphy. I don't mind redshirting him. He's got a little bit better awareness than Simmons, but I'd rather try out Simmons. Simmons, I think he may do a little special teams for us. We'll see. Freeman, he could be our number 4 guy. I don't feel like I have to redshirt him. As you can see, we got a bunch of young guys at this position. So I like what I'm seeing there. And if I feel like I need to run a little dime for whatever reason, I can do that with Freeman in there. Free safety. This is another position of need. We got one good, decent player in Keenan Greco, but nothing behind him, but there's no redshirting to be done here. Strong safety. Schroeder's the same thing. This is another position of need. We just need more bodies and better bodies at that. We got a freshman kicker and a freshman punter. We can't do any redshirting there. So let's get rid of all the redshirt guys, and then we will go to the depth chart. Let's go down here. Let's go to, there we go, depth chart. Now let's just look here. Simmons, Hurst, and Sawyer. I'm okay with all of that. Let's go look at Hurst. I haven't looked. He's got 80 power and 82 accuracy. That's not terrible. He must have been the guy I picked up. Is he the kid out of New Hampshire? Yes, I can't believe I remember that. He's out of New Hampshire. Just a one random 2-star guy who happened to like us for whatever reason. But he's our number 2 guy. Then there's Sawyer at the 3rd spot. Halfback, Gladhar, Davidson. Of course, we're going to do some formation subs with these guys. Griffin, Williams. I like what I see there. Fullback looks good. Wide receiver, again, I think I'll just put Anderson at the 3 spot, and then Johnson could be the number 4. If for whatever reason Anderson doesn't do a decent job right there, I can always just switch him. But I like what I see there. Harris is going to be my X receiver, and Clark could be my Z receiver like he was last season. Tight end, I can leave this as is, and of course, we're going to do formation subs with both. Left tackle, let's put in our backup left tackle. There's a little OCD in me. What the game does, they try to put in the best overall guy in these spots, regardless of position. That's why you see a right tackle here instead of the true backup left guard, which is Causey. Then you got center, looks good. Right guard, let's put in the legit right guard. If I can get to it. There we go. He's a 52 overall, but again, they don't tire very easily. Right tackle, all that looks good. Defensive end, I want to put Huff here. And we're going to have Reese be the starter over Hardy. But both of them are going to see the field some. Defensive tackle, Royal or Kennedy at the 2 spot. I think Royal, yeah, he's got better awareness and strength, so I'm okay with that. But Kennedy's going to see the field some as well. Left outside linebacker, I want Allen as my backup to both. Abdullah, then Allen, then Potts, Walker. That looks good. I think we got another middle linebacker. McDaniel. Then you got right outside linebacker. Yes, Allen behind Crosby. So Crosby, true freshman, going to start for us. Corner, McBride, Campbell, Simmons, and Freeman. I like all of that there. Free safety, that looks good. Strong safety looks good. Kicker looks fine. You got the punter behind the kicker. And that punter, you got the kicker behind the punter. Kicker, or kick return, I should say. Here's where we can get do some things pretty interestingly. Let's try Jared Simmons. And hold on, before we put him there, let's put Long as our top special teams guy on returns. He will be both kick and punt return. Just because offensive guys tend to fumble less than the defensive guys. But we can definitely try out Simmons here at the 2 spot. So on kickoff returns, you're going to see him there. And he may do well. Who knows? Now, at this last spot, we can put in... let's put in... Got Greco, Clark. Let's just do Davidson. So we're going to do Long, Simmons, Davidson. Long, Simmons, and Davidson. And kicker, kickoff start, yes. And long snapper, I want the starter. Center, I want Culp. And then I want Atkins. A lot of people would like to put the backup center right here. But I actually think it's best if I put my starter. That just gives him more reps, which means that just gets him even closer to getting his ratings up. And kicker looks good. So if you think about it, look how many freshmen are going to at least play a lot this year. We definitely got a starter at quarterback, so that's 1. Davidson's going to play a lot, so that's 2. Then wide receiver, we got a pretty good veteran group there. Olsen, that's 3. He's going to play quite a bit. Then you have 4. We got a true freshman left guard. 5 at center. And you got 6 at right tackle. We got 3 true freshmen on the offensive line. So that's 6 on the offense alone. On the offense alone, that's going to play quite a bit. Then you got a redshirt freshman, John Mitchell. That's technically 7. Then you have, 8. Alex Crosby, true freshman, right outside linebacker. Then you got Jared Simmons, who's going to be playing nickel in special teams. That's 9? 8 or 9? And then you have the 2 kickers. So you got like up to 11 guys that are going to see the field quite a bit today as true freshmen. And not including the newcomer of wide receiver, Cam Johnson, who is our 4th-string receiver. But he will be out on the field at least in a couple of the 4 wide sets that I'll use, whichever ones I'm going to. I'm not really sure yet. All right, let's go to edit rosters. Let's just make sure our our captains are set. It's always by seniority and awareness. It looks like Gladhar is a captain, which is fine by me. And it looks like your top defensive guy, yes, is Marsh. So that's fine. We go to program standards, and this is what you always want to see. The NCAA team interest bar is as low as it can get. We got 34 points to play with just in case. As long as that is enough just to keep us low, I think we're going to be fine. Next up, playbooks. That'll be in the next Dynasty video. Like I said, I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do yet. Let's go to Athlon Sports and check out some of this stuff. Preseason polls. I have no clue where they're going to put us. And it looks like we're 37th. C+ overall, C on offense, B- defense, and C+ special teams. We're slowly but surely getting better. Heisman Watch. I doubt we'll have anybody on here. All of our big-time players last season left. Look at preseason All-Americans. I doubt we'll have any All-Americans on the first or the second team. I don't see any there. Second team, I don't really see it either. One thing we can check is we can look at some of the teams that we're going up against. Maybe they have a All-American on one of these lists. I'm trying to think. Remember my schedule. See what we have. Michigan State. Looks like none of these guys we're going to go face. Second team, maybe. Louisville has a second team All-American. We're going up against this guy. So he's one. Tennessee, West Virginia. Ohio State's got a defensive end, Will Heron. Look how big he is. 6'5", 272. Jeez. Let's see. Wisconsin, Notre Dame. Notre Dame has an outside linebacker we'll go up against. USC, UNLV, CNC, Oregon State has a big-time punter we're going to see here not too far from now. Conference outlook, that doesn't matter. Let's go to NC's recruiting. I think that's all that's left. Now, like I said, I made a list of positions of need that I want to focus on during the regular season. Biggest thing is quarterback and wide receiver because we're just struggling in the offseason to get those guys, and that's because we're just not throwing the ball well enough. I guess we got to put up a ton of yards and touchdowns in order to get those guys interested. But at least with in-season recruiting, you can mitigate that some. Having said all that, we can check first our pipeline states. Let's just go here and see if we got any new ones. Oh, look at that. Illinois and Indiana are now pipeline states. That's awesome. I've been trying to go after some guys there for a while. It looks like we got enough to create pipelines there. And the reason why I created pipelines for them is, Murray, Kentucky is on the far west side of Kentucky. Yes, in this game, they don't care if your school is on the far left, far north, west, south, whatever. They don't care. It's all just about states in general. But I'm trying to keep it at least a little bit realistic and trying to go after guys that are at least closer to our side of the state. But it's cool to see Indiana and Illinois as pipelines. So let's keep going. Kentucky's a pipeline. That's expected. And Tennessee should be one. There it is. And it looks like that is it. So let's go straight to Kentucky and start there. No quarterbacks. We don't need a halfback. We got plenty of them. Here we have a wide receiver, Vernon Hines, 5'11", 185. I like what I see here. B awareness. He's fast enough. He's not very big, but if he can catch it all, I'm all for it. And he's an in-state kid, 4-star. So, yeah, let's go ahead and put a scholarship on him. Tight end, tackle. Tackle's not a big need for us. I actually don't mind waiting. This guy's too small. And this guy's big enough, but he's really not smart whatsoever. C-. It's not a big need, so let's keep going. No center, unfortunately. Defensive end, look at this guy. 6 feet, 200 pounds. He needs to be playing safety, not defensive end. Defensive tackle, let's see. Outside linebacker, Chad Brown, 4'6", A-. I like his size. He could be a future defensive end, but that's not a huge need for us. So let's just keep going. Middle linebacker is more important to me. So, yes, look at this kid. 6'5", 240 pounds. A monster. Runs a 4.52. Yes, yes, and yes. All right, corner, that's not a big need for us. And besides, this guy's too small. Free safety, no. Strong safety, unfortunately, no. Let's go to Tennessee. I treat that as my second most important state. Quarterback, halfback, fullback, receiver. Greg Booth, I like his size. I like his speed. And he's really smart. That's kind of rare to find a wide receiver that's super smart in this game. I think that's a good combination of things. Hopefully he can catch the ball. So let's go ahead and put a scholarship on him. Tackle, again, this isn't a super big need, but like this kid right here would be incredible. This is like the perfect offensive tackle for me. Really strong, really smart, 6'6", 3. I mean, this guy's just absolutely perfect. But we really don't. We already got 5 tackles, and we already got decent tackles as is. Like, we can go back. I can look. We can check it really quick. 84 at sophomore and 78 at right tackle. I'm guessing that other guy will be something like this. But will he ever see the field? You know, so, and we got a bunch of young guys as is. So tackle is just not the biggest need right now. So let's go back. We'll go back to Tennessee. There's tackles. Then you got a 5-star guard. We're not going to go after him. Center, defensive end, defensive tackle, outside linebacker. Here's a middle linebacker, Jimmy Castillo, 4-star. You got to remember, we're a 3-star school, so we can recruit 4-star kids. A on the awareness. This guy looks like a really good, legit middle linebacker. Let's go ahead and put a scholarship on him. Corner is not a big need, and none of these guys look the part except kind of this guy, maybe, because I like his height. But he's not the fastest guy in the world. Again, not a big need. Free safety is. So here is Neil Scales out of Bloomingdale, Tennessee. 4.46 is fast enough. 6'3". B awareness. I like, that's plenty enough there for me to get excited about this kid. So let's go ahead and put a scholarship on him. And they don't have a strong safety. All right, let's go to Illinois. Illinois tends to have more talent than Indiana. As you can see, the bar on the far right gets a whole lot bigger for Indiana. So, yes, they got more talent in Illinois. So, halfback, fullback. And here's another wide receiver. 6'5", 200 pounds, 4'4", 3. Not the smartest, but that's not the biggest deal for me. But I love his height, and I love his speed for that. He looks like just a freak athlete. Hopefully he can catch the ball. He's not very strong, but that's okay. Let's put one on him. Again, my offense, it changes a little bit every year. I'm just really roster friendly. One day I may do a dynasty where it's like a hardcore offensive minded, like this is the only guys we're going after. We don't care if we find good ones or bad ones or not. If you don't fit our system, you're not going to play. I may try to do that somewhere down the road, but for now we're going to keep it roster friendly. Tight end, let's see, tackle, guard. Guard is not the biggest need either. We only got 4, but you see they're all really young. Like this kid right here would be probably worth going after. 495, 655. Well, let's go back and check our guard situation. Offensive line tends to be the unit that I just don't think about the most. We got a 76 and a 72 at the starting guards and an okay backup behind, nothing special. Well, he's redshirting. Maybe we need to pick up a couple guys. The problem is, honestly, it may be best if we get some guys. So let's go back and look at him. I'll tell you what. We're not going to have too hard of time getting guards. As long as we keep running the ball halfway decent, I think we're going to be fine. So let's go back to Illinois. So I'm not going to go after guards. That's just not a big need for us right now. Unfortunately, they don't have a center that we could be interested in. Defensive end. Outside linebacker. Okay, they got 3 middle linebackers, all 3-star kids. Dion Brooks, 5'10", 234. This kid's 5'4", runs a 4.56, but he's nowhere near as strong. This guy's just a tad bit slower, but he's much stronger. On the squad, at least. Let's take a chance. Like, here's a 6'2", 330 or 230 guy. Could be a decent defensive end down the road. Marquis Gates, that's a cool name. Dion Brooks. Let's put 2 on these guys right here. Maybe for now. All right, corner. Here's another free safety, Jonathan Hampton. He's not tall enough. I like to have some height on the back end. And they don't have a strong safety in mind. So let's go look at Indiana. Here's a 3-star quarterback. I like his height. 6'2", is tall enough. He's not very smart, but that awareness doesn't mean anything for quarterbacks since you always control them. Let's go ahead and take a chance at this kid because, we still need better bodies here. He may be a decent guy to look at. Hopefully he's got a decent arm. Wide receiver, tight end, a tackle, guard, not a big need. Here's another middle linebacker. We're already going after. We already got 4 middle linebackers. You're going over. That may be too many. I may just break that down to 3, and that'll save us a scholarship or something else. Here's a free safety, Philip King. 6 feet, 4.46 B awareness. That's kind of a need for us. And we're going after 1. I'm going to wait on that one. I'm just going to wait. And there's no strong safety. So what we're going to do, that is all of our pipeline states. Let's go back to all. And let's go back to targeted. And let's look at our middle linebackers. It looks like this Gates kid is the worst of the 4. So let's just take one off of him. That gets us 4 scholarships. I want to use those 4 scholarships for 4 other players that may be outside of our pipelines that we may look out on. Yet they'll still be in our range of 4-star and below. So that gives us 4. And dang it, went out. Let's go back. Let's go. Quarterback is a big need. So here's what I want to do. I'm not worried about center because we can always move a guard if needed. And Culp is always going to be our starter. And I feel like we could probably get a decent center in the offseason. So we got 4 scholarships available. Let's go after 2 more quarterbacks and 1 strong safety and maybe 2 strong safeties or a free safety. So let's do 2 quarterbacks, 1 free safety, 1 strong safety, something like that. Quarterback's super huge for us, so let's see if we can find somebody that's interesting. I don't mind going after somebody that's a bit of a freak in terms of like super tall or really short, just really weird looking. Just oblong. I've seen a couple quarterbacks that are like 5'10", 250 pounds, just real square box looking guys. Or we could find one that's like super tall. That'd be pretty cool to go after. And at this point, I'm not too worried about where they're from. This is where you could just really take a chance and go after somebody. Like here's a 4-star, 6'4", 205 kid, 205 pounder out of Georgia. Looks really good. He probably has a decent arm. But let's just keep going. I'm looking for somebody that's kind of oblong. And if they are close to a state that's kind of close to us, then I'm all for going after those guys as well. Here's a lefty, but he's not very big and he's not very fast. Oh, look at this kid. Joseph Ward, 6'5", 235 pounds, out of Minnesota. He looks interesting. Let's take a chance on him. Hopefully he's got a decent arm. At least he's smart. Of course, it doesn't mean anything for us, but it's just another little positive. It helps with his rating at least. Here's another lefty out of Louisiana. Hey, that's my buddy David's from there. That's pretty cool. 6'2", 4'6'9". Hey, let's just put one on him. That may be for old David. I think he'll enjoy seeing that. That's pretty cool. Let's go after him. And that could be our 2 quarterbacks we go after. So that's for you, David Barillo. I think you'll enjoy me trying to go after this guy. Hopefully he's got a decent arm. And, well, let me take one off of him. Let's just keep going. We may find somebody that's even more. Like, this guy looks pretty interesting. 6'5", or 6'4", 195. He's a lefty. Runs a 4.65. I like that's pretty cool. You don't see too many lefties that fast. There's not many lefties in this game, period. Here's a 6'4" kid. 6'4", 195. Just looking for anybody kind of weird. 6'4", 200 kid out of Michigan. Out of Big Rapids. Here's a 6'5", 232 pounder. That kid's a monster. He's out of Missouri as well. Oh, wow. Go after it. Both of them look about the same. Him and the guy from Minnesota. 6'2", 212, 6'4", 205. And we're going after like one of the worst of the bunch of the list. Let's take a chance. I don't know. Let's go after this guy. I'm hoping he's got a better arm. Let's just go after him. Let's go after all 3. I don't care. I mean, quarterback is such a big need for us. It always is. Let's go find him. Where's he at? Did I already pass him up? Let's go after this guy as well. So that's 4 quarterbacks we're looking at. Now we got 1 scholarship left. Let's go after a strong safety. Maybe we could find somebody that's worth really going after that we think we have a chance at. I want to find somebody super fast. Looks like everybody's a 4.43 or slower. Here's a 4.41 kid out of South Carolina, but he's not tall enough. Alabama, Pennsylvania. I need somebody really tall. and fast. This guy looks like a possibility out of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. 6'4", 2 out of 5 out of Michigan. Taiwan Jenkins. This guy may be the one I may go after. His awareness isn't very good, though. Here's a 4.43 C+, but again, he's just not tall enough. This guy's legit. Nebraska, he's 6'4", and he's 4.48, but he's got a B awareness. And I don't control the safety a whole lot. I'm especially going to control more strong safeties on our cover one. So technically, I'll never control these guys. So I actually need more better awareness, if that makes sense. Well, here's another guy. Okay, now look at this. They've done this throughout a lot of these games, but they got a lot of duplicate players. Lance Beck, John Morris, and Phil Inman all are the same height and weight, same bench, same 40 times, same squat. Like I said, a lot of these games do that, including 06. So we got 3 guys here that I really like because I like their strength and I like their smarts. And it seems like I need to go the smart route. Like this kid would be great, but he's way too slow. You need to get into the top 50 guys. The 520. Let's go after one of these 3. I'm guessing it may be best to go after the kid out of Ohio. Let's go after the kid out of Ohio. That may be a pipeline for us down the road. And that's like more of a realistic pipeline since it's kind of close to us. So let's go after him. All right, that's all the scholarships gone. So let's go to play week and let's simulate the first week. And then we'll check out these recruits and see where we're going to put our points at. There's a very good chance I'm going to spread them out like I done last season. Keep it pretty even unless it's obvious there's a couple players that I don't need to waste my time on if they got like a negative pitch or one of those quarterbacks just has a terrible arm. You know, we're not going to bother. So that's going to give us more points to put on everybody else. All right, let's go to NC's recruiting. And let's start at the very top. Neil Scales. He looks fine, but let's just look for any positive or negative pitches. We go right down the list real quick. All right, quarterback Nick Whitaker. I had the kid out of Louisiana. Oh my gosh, look at that arm. A, arm strength. B, throw accuracy. Oh, wow, and he runs a 4.69. And that's like a 74 speed right there. That kid is a true dual threat kind of guy. And he's our quarterback. That's it right there. He's a stud. We'll definitely put points on him. Let's keep going looking for any negative or positive pitches. And that's it. So let's go back up to the very top. Let me back out here. How many free safeties am I going after? I just got 1 on the list. 4.46. We got to put some points on him. Let's just go ahead and put 8 for now. Again, no, we didn't see any negative pitches. And here's a kid out of Maryville, Tennessee. That's super close to where I'm from. 4.6. Yes, let's just go ahead and put the 8 points on him. Quarterback, Joseph Ward. Look at this kid. Big kid. B+ on the arm across the board. I don't mind going after him. Let's just put points on him and see what happens there. Either that or I could just put all my eggs into the other guy's basket. We'll see. Middle linebacker, I want this kid in the worst way. I mean, he's just humongous. He could be a great future middle linebacker or defensive end. Let's just put 8 here. Wide receiver, we're at the very bottom for this Hines kid. But again, that doesn't really mean anything out of the gate. Quarterback, Whitaker, definitely. Middle linebacker, we need bodies here. Let's just go ahead and put the 8 points there. Craig Harrell. Let's go back to that other wide receiver. I didn't pay attention. A+ hands, 4.39. Yes, you got to have a kid like that. He's got great hands and he's fast. I'm all for that. So this kid, again, he's fast, A+ hands, and he's really big. So let's put points on him. Strong safety. B awareness. Yes, everything that looks pretty legit right there. And we need some help there in the worst way. Let's put 8 points there. Quarterback Justin Green. It's not good enough. C+ accuracy. That's just if you're going to have C+ throw accuracy, you better be able to be really fast or have an amazing arm strength, or you got to compensate for it somehow, and I don't see it. So we're not going to put any points on him. And this wide receiver, B hands 4.48. I'm not a huge fan of that. I like his size and his speed's pretty good. But I'm already going after 2 other receivers. I'm not going to go after him. I'd rather use those points on other guys. And Eddie Brown. I love his size. And he's a lefty, too, if I'm not mistaken. I would love to have him, but his throw accuracy is a D. And he's not super fast, so I can't do it. I'm at number 1 on his list. But he'll never see the field as long as I'm coach, unless we have too many injuries. So I can't do it. I'm sorry. I wish I could, but I can't put the points on him. All right, that gives us a whole lot more points to play with. So we could probably do at least 10 across the board and spread the other 10 somewhere else. Now, one thing I have to decide, I'm going to go after both of these quarterbacks because you just never know. Just because, you got to remember last season, remember that left guard we was going after, he liked one of our pitches, yet he was just destined to go to Virginia Tech, I think is where he ended up going. So it's not a guarantee that I'm going to get this guy. So you got to have a backup plan, and maybe Warren is the backup plan. So for now, let's just do 10 points. We're going to do 10 points on all those. Is that it? I guess I can go... Interesting. I want to go... We're going to do 2 points here. I'm probably going to do 2 points across the board. No. I'm going to end up losing points pretty quickly. We're going to do at least 2 points there. We'll do 11 for the rest of them. And I'm okay with that. We'll give just a little bit of extra love to this guy. Whatever it takes just to somehow get him, I'm all for it. And if I feel like I need to jump points from other people and bring it on him, I'm more than willing to do so. We'll just, adjust accordingly, and hopefully we'll continue to go up for this guy. All right, that is recruiting. We are done with the preseason stuff. So come on back in the next Dynasty video. We will take on our first team of the season, and that is Kentucky. As you can see here, they're a C+ overall team. So are we. Looks like a pretty interesting matchup. It should be fun. Remember, they beat us that first season. We're looking for a little payback. Hopefully, we'll make that happen. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.